Ideas of creating anything more artistic are buried at the back of our minds, along with domestic science lessons and spelling tests. But we're never too old to sit at an easel, as Sue Cook discovered when the oils hit the canvas on a painting holiday in France.
The first thing a hopeful artist needs is a good subject to paint. And in this part of France, there are plenty of those. Painting is something I left behind a long time ago, along with my school days, apart from a rather sad attempt at rag rolling in the spare bedroom recently. I don't even know if I've got any artistic potential at all, but I think I'm about to find out. You don't have to be a serious painter to come on this holiday, although most of the other people on my course here were more experienced than I was. Francis Pratt owns and runs the school. He's spent many years researching art in all its aspects.
And the course is absolutely open and free. In a sense, there isn't a course. The only thing I ask is that on the first day that people go out and do something of their own.
The little village of Montmiral has a wealth of pretty corners where a budding artist can work undisturbed. I was surprised how much concentration it takes to translate a scene onto canvas, and I'd never worked in oils before. The first piece of work has to be done within an hour and taken back to Francis for appraisal and advice. Even doing that painting, I began to learn to use different techniques for getting different textures. So I'd love to learn more about that.
Okay. And in general, colour mixing is a subject which I often have to help people with. And
on the basis of this first attempt, Francis works out an individual teaching strategy and helps decide which particular aspects you want to concentrate on.
Incorrectly taught and explained both in books and in other places.
I found I quickly began to get the bug. Suddenly every scene was a potential subject to sketch or paint, even from my bedroom window. I'd never attempted drawing a figure from life before. I was dreading making a twit of myself.
I'm not sure I'm going to get the head yet.
No,
it's all complete.
With the head, just a small tip is there's a big tendency if the head's too big.
You meet people with the same ideas, and it's lovely to have dinner in a local restaurant because they're people who've all got something in common, and yet they're all strangers. Most people either come on their own, but perhaps a couple. So it's a perfect holiday if you're on your own.
Cheers. Cheers. By way of a complete break from the paper and brushes, there's an annual summer festival of music and theatre in the neighbouring town of Vaur. Next day, time to attempt my first proper painting. The search is on for the ideal location. There were too many wonderful scenes to choose from. I walked miles. How much painting experience have you had, John?
Nil. I simply don't do it. I've always had pretensions, but never actually got round to demonstrating them to myself.
So have you been surprised at yourself?
No, not really. No, I've been deeply disappointed.
It looks quite good from here.
Well, it's nice of you to say so, but I've not really found anything yet that I'm very pleased with.
In relation
discreetly, Francis managed to keep track of us all to offer advice when needed. He teaches that no object is just one flat colour, so never to load the brush with the same colour twice.
Say this sort of distance, and you try, and when you're actually looking at that to that in the field that you're doing it, you do it in the direction you see it. I'm just demonstrating, okay?
Included in the course is a visit to the museum at Albi, where Toulouse-Lautrec was born and where the talents of that classic artist still have much to teach us humble students.
You'll see that he's painted out a cane. This line, that angle down there, gives a lot of importance in giving the energy of the pose.
Well, I'll never be another Toulouse-Lautrec, but I've discovered a genuine new pleasure in life. It's a holiday experience I'll definitely go for again. She's better than I am.